And welcome everybody. So in the chat, as we get started today, obviously as always, make sure to let me know if the stream looks good or not. There's probably going to be an empty screen, so there, let's get that back up there for you. So welcome back to the Imagineers Club stream. Oh look, I'm no longer AFK. So those of you that were here last time know that we kind of worked on this a little bit, and I never got a chance to come back to it. So what I figured is we'd work on Peter Pan today. And let's just make sure my mic's up enough. There we go. Yeah, we'll work on this over here today a little bit. We'll answer questions as always. And then I'm going to be continuously mentioning, because it's important, we open exactly from today in 2 months. So exactly 2 months from today, the Imagineers Club server will be open finally to the public. I know that you're looking around going, hey, wait a minute, there's no way you can open with like this much done. Believe it or not, we really can get this much done, or get that much done rather, before the 2 months are up. There have been times when, well, the castle, that's a good example. That's essentially 1 day's worth of work for me right there. So I can really jam stuff out when I'm focused on it. So yeah, we'll definitely have everything ready to go and have the server up and running for you. So it looks like so far we have looks and sounds good, looks nice, so we're getting good responses. And then, yeah, Billy, I want to agree with the comment about that song. Oh, gosh, I love that song so much. That's why I use that as our opening song every single time. So continuing on, what we want to do, as I stated, is work on Peter Pan today. I also turned on my brightness, so to speak. The ability for me to see in the dark spaces like this now, it just makes it a little bit easier. And I think last time it was very hard to see, but we're entering Small World now. So you would go through the queue, then you would go over the bridge, which is right about here, and then go down and so on. Like this is all going to be lower right here. And then the ride is technically all in this area. Like this, look how big this is. Like this is real life. So we're doing everything 1-to-1 here. So this would be the entirety of the ride. Well, the majority of it, because there's also a little bit obviously backstage where they store all the boats and clean them up at night and so on. But the majority of that space right there that you're looking at is that's a huge amount of space. Like, look at that. And yeah, you'll also have to forgive me. I'm a little bit tired today. I'm got myself a second job so that I could kind of handle paying some bills and stuff. And if you guys want to help out with that, so everything that I've done so far, all the servers that that have been paid for, everything's been pretty much done by myself. We've had a couple of really kind, generous people offer their help. Thing is, though, that what is this? It's an invisible person with a cape. That's interesting. Anyway, I was saying that we want to start off strong. We don't want to start off with just the money that I've been able to throw at this. We want to be able to bring on the best developers, the best people, the best builders, and more. And then, of course, fill up the manager slots as we need. And so if you can donate to the PayPal link that you see on your screen there, that would be greatly appreciated. So it's just paypal.me/ImagineersClub. Everything that you put towards that goes to the server. For instance, we'll be at CubedCon this year. We'd like to get a larger booth. Maybe we could do that with the money that you help us with today. So everybody that helps out would also obviously be able to get that word I hate, but I got to figure out another word for it. But ranks, whatever the ranks are going to end up being on the server, essentially you would be put towards that. Anything that you help with, help and donate right now. So anyway, getting past all that, let's get into building. So I'm going to probably not switch back and forth between the screen like I did last time with the map. The reason for that is I'm trying to cut down on some of the issues of the lag that we've had in the past. So really, I should probably do that rather than let the screen go dark on you. Like I said, I am exhausted from working 2 jobs right now. And we're going to start on the left-hand side over here. You know what? Actually, yeah. Let me just go ahead over here to check the chat really quick. Little laggy, but good for the most part. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so we're going to start over here and work our way to the right. One of the things here, you know what, actually, it just doesn't make as much sense if I if I don't share my screen. So let's just do that. So looking at this, this is what we're going to have to build, or what I'm going to have to build. And I did the core of it, as you can see right there. So let's go back here. And then again, the way that I build based on this is, even though we have the one-to-one and everything's placed where it's supposed to be by the overview, in other words, this view. Now granted, we don't use specifically Google Maps like this to measure everything out, but it's a good way to see where everything's laying out. We use schematics, we use blueprints, and so on. And once all that's laid out, then I use this, and I gauge things based on people's height. So the average human is about 2 meters tall, about 2 meters tall. So you see the top of this guy's head here with the Mickey shirt on. He's approximately 2 blocks. So that means the third block, it's about 1 more block from there to there. So that's how I gauge size on a lot of this. And that's going to go the same there, because both this one and this one over here are the same height. As a matter of fact, this is the same height. So it pretty much runs the whole way, except for where we have the, this hangover here. So we're going to continue that across there and make sure that everything is the same level. And right now it is, as you can see. So I did at least that, and it is 3 tall, because he was 2, and then that's the third one up. But the thing with this is we've got the curvature here on both sides. So we're going to have to add that, which is super simple. It's just an couple of upside down stairs. Let's see, and then you just stare. Let's grab stone brick, because that's pretty much what this is. I mean, it's that simple for that. We'll do the same over here, but see, this is weird. Do we want to widen that in any way? Because that is the same width as the one on the other side. Problem is when you get these angles, when stuff goes into it like that. I tell you what, actually. What we can do, because it is, we're going to grab these blocks here. We can do that because it'll still show up from the outside. And so what I mean is, and let's see, do I want to do it? Yeah, let's do it that way. So like if I'm standing here, I can still see that pillar basically. And you see there, as a matter of fact, I actually did it right. So you see how the pillar actually does go behind this blue pillar here. Well, then I'm following exactly the direction. So it's exactly the same. So all of that follows in line with exactly how it is in real life. All right, so next we want to check out, let's see, we'll start with the tower. That's going to be a lot of work, all this up here. So I debate when I've done this in the past, do I build out? But that's not even a foot, coming out a foot, let alone a meter. So a lot of people, what they would do is they do the stairs upside down here in the wood, like probably a acacia or something, because it's a kind of an orangey wood like that, and then they'd build on top of that. But let me show you exactly why that's a problem. So let's do that, stair, and we'll grab the acacia. Well, the acacia is a little bit orange, but whatever. At least it'll stand out enough to show you why this is a problem to build like that. So that one is, and then it's got the, well, we'll just use these temporarily. And then do that, oops, and just drop a bunch of these down. Scale wise, you're going to see when we're down on the ground, it just isn't, you see what I mean? Like, see how much fatter that is than that? So it doesn't make sense for us to put that much detail there, or at least make that accentuated that much over the edge of what it is. And so these are the kind of shortcuts, unfortunately, you have to take because of the limitations of Minecraft. Now, granted, there are people out there that can probably take an armor stand and place blocks across there, but here's the problem with that. Then you're creating what's called an entity, and if I'm standing right here and I turn my head this way, all those blocks up there are going to be disappeared. So you need to, that's why I'm using all real blocks in here, and that's why I've textured the pack like I have. When we look at the ground and we see all the gravel and so on, the pack is textured so that every block is visible. So when people want to, when they come on. So let's get rid of all this and think about another way that we can do this. I'll answer questions here in a bit. If you want to throw a bunch of questions in the chat, I'll be happy to answer them in a bit. So let's go back again to what we were talking about when it comes to scale. And we know that this guy's about 2 meters high, and we know this is 3 meters high. So, well, that's some nice thunder out there. Yeah, if I lose power, I apologize, guys. What'll happen is, because I live in downtown Orlando, our storms kind of pass through within 30 minutes. If I lose power, it'll be only for a moment, and then I'll come back and stream again. Anyway, so we're looking at a 3 high right here. Well, then that looks to be between there and the top edge here. Almost 4, but it could be 3. So I'm going to measure it with something I have in my hand physically here in front of me. Actually, it's 3. So that's 3 high above that. Well, I have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically, it's too tall already. So we need to get rid of a bunch of this. And clicky, clicky, mouse, mouse. There we go. Now it's the right height. And as a matter of fact, don't I have another color like over here somewhere? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. We need to replace all those blocks anyway, because it's not the right color. So let's do that real quick. I don't mind doing everything manually. Actually, while I'm over here and you can look down and see it, you see how the outline of the front of the building is already down? That's how I did all of this over here. Is the outline's down there from when I had measured everything originally, and then I just put the blocks on top of it. It's like having directions for Legos. You know, everything's just already pretty much laid out for you. All right, so we want 3 high. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I could conceivably just world edit all this in, but that's not fun. A lot of this park I built by hand, just like you're seeing now. Especially stuff like this roof, because you've got these angles. I can't just do a bunch of squares in there because there's so many angles. Now, granted, there's going to be people that would argue, well, yeah, you could just do, what is it, select poly, I think it is. But I don't want to do that. All right. And let's get these ones here, even though they're kind of behind everything. I still want to keep everything uniform. Actually, as a matter of fact, that means... No, there we go. All right, so now we've got the 3 high. Oh, we missed one line, which means, nope, nothing's out of the whack. All right, so there's our 3 high on that, which technically that is 4, but we're gonna take that just because we need a top border there anyway. And that, again, that's a good example of a shortcut. You know, even though that's adding a meter to it, the detail and stuff that I add up here is going to make up for that. All right, so we want to do, now, technically, the 2 colors here, like inside of this wood and between all this, looks a little more orangey, a little more red or orange. Again, another quote-unquote shortcut. I'm just going to use this block to continue it up later when I do it. However, I do want to do that border underneath here. And looking at my blocks, let's say, is it wood? No, it would be planks. That's a really orange. I'd rather go with the jungle plank and give that definition in between there. You know, even though this isn't orangey, it's a closer color. That other orange for the acacia is just too orange. And so, yeah, looking at that and looking at that, it's a little bit better of a match, I would say. And then because it does go up on the sides, like, so if we're looking at it, there is wood that goes up the sides here. So each corner has the colored wood, even though it isn't 1 meter wide. For the detail, I am going to add it there. I think it would be that one and then that one. And so, yeah, because we're looking at about, technically that's, I would say that's even almost 1 meter, because that's, you could kind of, like if you cut that guy in half, that's about 1 meter. But the reason that I did it 2 up is because when I put when I put all the roofing or whatever around it, it's going to come out this way. Because that does exceed, as you see up there. Oh, what happened? Oh, I moved. That's all right. So that does exceed that, but let's move back there because I liked that spot. Oh, I went a little far. That was a nice one. You know what? While we're up here, we've got a few windows, but not all of them are the same size. Let's just... Uh-oh, I just quit my browser. No big deal. Not all of them are the same size, and I think that was one there, and then we had 2 small ones over here. instead of the two small ones, I'll just do one big one there. What I could conceivably do, I could. Let me just get the browser back open again because I want to see. I'm wondering if maybe a plate glass. Oh yeah, I forgot because that closes up my. All right, let me just get this real quick. I want to see if I can do maybe a piece of glass that would be a line in there. So let me just check this real quick. I think also, well, again, I'll probably be trying to check the chat here pretty soon. So if you've got your questions ready, you should already have them typed in. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Would really appreciate your support in more than one way. See if I can do maybe a piece of glass. Hey, look, I'm listening to myself. That's pretty funny. Let's go ahead and mute that. All right. But I was thinking maybe glass or something to split that larger window. But then as I look at it, and let me bring you guys back into my desktop view. So as I look at it here, these are kind of like elongated down. Oh, you know what else? Here's a good point. The bottom of this window, let's go over there. See how it comes down at an angle like that? Maybe I should use a stair there to kind of give it detail, which would mean I'd break that one out. But again, see, I don't have all the, oh, well, that's close to the color. Let's try that. And maybe this, no, the sandstone's kind of dark. Let's try that in birch. So there's birch, that's really bright. And there's, yeah, that's way better. So that kind of gives it, but again, I admit that that is a very large window, but that's the best we can do right now. So here's what I was thinking on the split. So let's do pane. Let's do the black. Because we have the, for those of you that weren't here last time, let's get inside of there too. What we have is our debug stick. By the way, look at that texture for the walls. Isn't that nice? Oh, wait, let's F1 that. See how that texture just perfectly, it's kind of like a Spanish stucco kind of look, and that's what I wanted for these walls. I love that texture. Anyway, so we've got the debug stick, something I showed you guys last time. And so let's see, that's east. Let's go north, that's good. And now south, and there we go. I want to see how that looks from the outside. So remember, we'll also put, so behind there is, like, looks like a shade. This one's got the same color behind it, almost like it's plastered over. So let's do that. We're going to have to redo the glass, though, the paned glass, because it's going to connect to that. Yeah, see how it connected on the side? So we want to get rid of, I think it's west. And there we go. And so that splits that window. Then we have this window, which, that one has a little bit of something darker, almost like a grate behind it. And you know what I have for that? It might look good. Let's see, where is, we want to go to, is it music? No. What the heck is it called? The music box. Jukebox. There it is. So let's do that. And what I'll do is I'll put that here, because you see that texture on it has kind of the same look as what's in there. If I was to be able to zoom in a little bit more, you see there's, you can almost see it. I remember it from real life, so it's kind of a textured thing there. So that is why I put that up there. So that gives it that detail once again. Okay, so next we have to, oh, hey, what's going on here? My computer's going wonky. Oh, it's the wrong map, that's why. Let's just put that back where it belongs. I want to do the roof too, but I need to figure the rest of this out. And I'm not going to make this pop out either, because again, it's the same thing I talked about over here, how it doesn't pop out a full meter, not even close. That's barely a foot. If that, it's maybe 6 or 8 inches, I don't know. But that only pops out a little bit too. So I'm not going to do that delineation of levels. These are all just going to go straight up, unfortunately. But what we've done is, hopefully using this border here, we've given it that definition, you know, so that when it separates. So when I do that, it hopefully gives it the look. The other thing I can't really do, and without using armor stands of some sort, is all the planks of wood between it. So all this look here, there's a way to do that with an image, like kind of like an overlay of an image, but I'm not sure I want to do that. We also seem to have some shutters there in blue. There's a couple of ways we can do that, and I'm going to try the first way here in a minute. But I really would like to see what we can do about this roof. So we go stair, and I think that's pretty close. Yeah, that's really close. Hey, let's put it the right side up though. Actually, I want to do that way. Do we want to? Oh yeah, that's right. What we can do is this, and then again, but we're not using it the right way. So facing, half, shape. There we go. So I can do that when I go around a corner rather than having to. So I would have had to normally double up and add another block right here, which would make it way too thick. So, and then if I put this here, it's going to ruin it anyway. So I've got to go back and do it again. There we go. Awesome. And again, I don't want to make it, well, oh, so it only goes across there anyway. So let's go here. And then we do the same thing. It really goes steeply up though. And if I'm down here right now, see how I can't see it at all, but see how I can see that one? That's when it tells me that I need to do it with just regular blocks instead of the stair blocks, and just step it up on the regular blocks. And fortunately, because I thought of it already, when I used this block and I textured it like this, I think it was, is it Priz? Yes, it is. So what I can do then, and I also don't have to worry about my debug tool, is I can do it this way. Then go up and see how I can, now when we're down here, see how that's much more visible from down here. And you still get the texture of it, not necessarily as great of a roof as a stair would be, but you still do get that effect. And then when we finish it, we're gonna have to do the, oh, I just exited out of it. When we finish it, we're gonna have to do the chimney as well. So let's go back to that. I'll probably end up over in front of, yep, there we are. Let's go one more ahead, zoom in. So the other thing I was trying to do while I was zooming a minute ago, remember how we were talking about the height of everything and we went with 1 block high on this? So that would mean this is about 3 blocks high total, technically, maybe 4 to the point. Actually, it would be 4 to the point. And another way to do that is let's get that more side view. So let's get way over here and kind of zoom in on that. Yeah. So this is more than 1 block, so I'm counting that, but I only counted it as 1. So technically I would say here would be 1 meter. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is actually 5 high, because it would be 5 to here, but 6 to here, but that's from here. So yeah, so we're going, and we're right now 4 high, so we can go 1 more high, which actually does almost split exactly in the middle, which is awesome. So, you know what though? I think I'm going to move this back. Yeah, and let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I can still see it, so it's not too bad. We can go ahead, and that's supposed to be a point up there, so I don't want to double that up. Let's see what we got here. Yep, there. And then we have to build this actually this way, because that's where the angle goes down here. Because we have to pay attention, see how down here, this isn't, like as I did it in MC Magic, this would have been a perfect square. But because we're on an angle sticking out and jutting out that way, the shape of it is a little bit different, and that's the best we can do on that. So we do that. Let's see, that goes down twice actually. So there. And then we want to do that. So we're not quite reaching there. Let's see what we can do. So this is where sometimes I have a little bit of an issue, because I want to be able to do that across there. But then we've got this empty space, and I don't like to double that up. So you know what? That's what we'll do. Because this isn't a front. This one isn't front visual. Oh, actually, there. Let's see. It's really tough. See what I mean? So it doesn't, when you're viewing, because we can be over here just like we saw it before. That doesn't look half bad, but yeah, I guess we are. Okay. So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking I could do the, the too tall one here. I can't do that. We have to actually do it this way. And then, all right, bring that down. That goes there. That goes there. And then that goes there. And then we can get rid of what's in the middle. We're going to have to because we got to build in there. All right, what's going wrong here? So I'm getting rid of the extra because we are going to build inside of here, obviously. We have to do some detail that isn't, because you see there, we've got to do more of the lighter color, the Spanish stucco. Okay, what do we got here? Oh yeah, and you'll hear jets going by me too because I live near an airport, the executive airport. Boy, that's a tough one right there, trying to figure this out. There we go. Okay, so, and I think we're all in line here. Actually, it would be there. And then that would put it in line with that. Yep. Okay, and it goes down a little bit here. It technically goes down at an angle, but I don't necessarily need to do that angle because we got that. Let's see what we got here. I mean, essentially it's just building this up. Do I want to do this though? No, because we had, that's right, because we do have that overhang. But I don't think it needs to go down that low, or does it? That can work. So let's build up the other side. Just a moment, I'm going to pay attention to the chat. Actually, we need to build that out. There we go. All right, let's check and see what's going on in chat. I don't know if I'm going to be sorry or not. Let's see what we got here. So let's go back up. Wow, we got a lot going on here. So let's answer some questions. So let's see. I'm going to go back to. Let's go back over to here and keep the game in sight. Hey, let's not do the launcher though. T that. Okay, so this way I can look at your chat in case there's anything there we don't want to go on the stream. Okay, we've got Matthew saying a little laggy, but it's okay. We already got to that one. Hey Tyler, thanks for the donation. We really appreciate it. Everything helps, guys. I mean, $1 helps at this point, because we're not open, at all yet, obviously. So yeah, anything you guys can do to help to that Imagineers Club. PayPal.me/Imagineers Club. You can see it on your screen there on the bottom. It's also scrolling across the top a lot. A- said the texture pack looks amazing, or looks so cool. Thank you. I've done that all pretty much on my own. It was very important to me to do realistic without being cartoony, but also without taking too much away from Minecraft itself. So it still feels like it belongs in the game. Bill Shears is asking, what's the age requirement to be a cast member? So initially, I'm going to start with 16, and that avoids any issues when it comes to the COPA regulations. But I may be willing to stretch it depending on what we need and what we have and how many people apply and what their skills are. And there'll be a lot of factors that go into it. But when we initially open, I'm going to keep it at 16. And then even beyond that, it's going to be first former cast members. Then we'll go from there. So why don't you switch from a Mac to a PC? Zach, it's funny you asked that since I'm pretty sure you sent me a screenshot of you on a Mac recently, or maybe it was not you. I think it was you. I like my Mac because of the software that it has. So I find it's easier to use, for instance, Photoshop on the PC or on the Mac. I also like that it has a Unix backend. So I'm kind of a nerd. So for instance, the servers, the reason that we are not paying people to run the servers is, even though we pay for the servers, which that's why we need donations, but even though we pay for them, I'm the one doing all the dev work. So I'm the one setting them up. We get what's called a bare bones system. So we get but I like Debian, which is a Unix based operating system, and Mac OS with its terminal and everything else, it feels like Linux to me, but it has a better suite of software and a better, the better ability to run all the programs I want. Yes, Minecraft works in it. Yes, OBS works in it. Yes, there's GIMP instead of Photoshop, but GIMP doesn't have the same feel to me. I've been using Macs for so many years but see, here's the thing: I dual boot into Windows all the time too. For the things that I want to do in Windows. And that's another thing that you can't do with a PC that I can do with my Mac. So there's your answer to that. A- says he uses a Mac and is perfectly fine. Yes. Region 11 asks, will you have applications open anytime soon, specifically for friends of characters? That's a very good question, because the last stream we had, I think somebody asked something similar, and we kind of had to explain what a friend of a character was. But yes, we are going to need characters because, well, with MC Magic, we had 100 and close to 200, or maybe I think we maybe even broken the 200 mark on the characters that we had available for the server at one point. We're starting from scratch again. So we'll have the core characters when we open, but we're going to have to build it up again like we did before. So yes, character applications will be eventually open. Noel says, hey, just wanted to say this looks epic. Thanks, Noel, or Noah L. Zach says you could use fill command to fill in weird shape areas. I could, but again, then I would have to use /cell/ or //cell space poly because it being at an angle. That one, for instance, right over there, that was an angle. If it's a square spot on the ground, I'll do the cuboid selection, and yes, I'll fill it. But on an angled thing, that's why I do it with my hands. So that's why I build by hand on this. Because if you look around, pretty much everything on the server, as you're looking in that screenshot right now, there's hardly any straight lines except up and down, maybe. Let's see. Jungle would be better. So that was talking about when I had originally chosen the color for that around there. How do you get early access? So Noah L, right now, the only people that are on the servers, you can see them there in the chat, which I'm hoping that they're behaving, because I haven't been paying attention. But it's also Discord. So you're seeing a lot of the Discord guest talk, and it goes into there. But there are former cast members that have volunteered to help me. And because I know them and I can trust them, I can bring them on here. So yeah. Let's see. We've got... Opens November 9th. Yep, Billy Shears is right. How were people on the server early? I just explained that. Xylant's telling me to check something, and that looks to be... Oh, my goodness. Should I check that right now? I don't know. Yes, I'm checking it right now. Of course I'm checking it right now. Okay. Oh, my dear. I'm going to be having a lot of fun when this stream ends today. Let me just say that. Xylant, I don't know how I got so lucky to have you in our lives. That is amazing. So, yeah, guys, continue to help out, but that was really that. You can tell I'm speechless right now. So thank you. And then Noah's right too. Says they used to be staff on MC Magic, and that's why. So it's very important to me that I have people that I can trust. It's very important to me that these are people that I know, that I've grown with. We spent 5 years together, over 5 years for some of us. This game's been around for 9 years, and I know I've known a lot of people for that long. Yeah. So all right. Let's see. Going back to. I'm just going over here real quick to the chat. Where did it go? Why did the chat disappear? Okay, there it is. What's the age requirement? So we talked about that already, that was going to be 16 initially, and then we'll decide down the road. We have to be very careful because, so there's COPA regulations in the US, but now with the EU, they've decided to kind of crack down on a lot of things website-wise, and so we have to go through a whole bunch of agreements. I've got to do that with our website. We have, since we're not open and live, I haven't done it yet, but we have to put an acceptance of some sort on our website that follows the EU guidelines, the European Union guidelines. So we've got to be just basically careful. And granted, these aren't people that are going to be paid, but even a volunteer that's offering their personal information, we have to be very specific about their privacy. So that's a debate for later on. So again, it'll be 16 and up when we initially open cast members that originally were there before. Then we'll start hiring 16 and up from applicants, and then we'll start to look at what our abilities are and who we can bring on based on age and so on, and the European Union guidelines. So Sunset Opal says maybe use a 3D model. The reason they state that is, and hello, my feathered friend, that's adorable. They're stating that because of like I was talking about before, I guess, with the wood and putting stuff on the side. So the problem with 3D models too is they're the same as a entity in the viewing capability. Most 3D models are, if they're just partially out of your view, they're going to disappear just like an entity will, because it's the way that Minecraft handles that. It helps with your TPS as well as your FPS, your frames per second. That's just the way they code it. Later down the road, when the Bedrock Edition stuff starts to make its way into Minecraft PC or Minecraft Java Edition, and you start to get the oh my god, for those of you that have played Bedrock Edition, you know this already, but your view distance is incredible in that version of the game. Like that, you could see from one end of the park to the other without even going to that and loading those chunks. They automatically load. But one of the other things is the ability to view models at a farther distance as well. That was something that during Ant Venom's stream recently you got to see when he was on Mojang's official channel for the Twitch. Noah says this looks way better. Oh, Rainbow Loomer wants to build along with me. The resource pack I'll be releasing again soon. The problem with it right now is, and let me hop into the game and give you an idea. So when you look at the ground here, and I'll try to stay still for a minute so it'll start to pop into view, and let me F1 so you don't see the boundary box. So if it's visible on the stream, I'm not sure, but you can see that there's a texture there, and that texture is seamless, meaning that you can see the pattern, but you don't see the line of the physical block itself. That image right there in front of you is 512 by 512 resolution. When I open the server, it's going to be more like 32 or 64. Because not everybody's computers can handle a 512 resource pack. So the reason that I haven't released it is because all of the textures are going to be like if I get really up close, look at the detail on that up close, I'm trying to think of another good block. Oh, this one. So you see that the blocks here down below me, that's the cobblestone. Oh, and that's nice. We got a Nemo just popped in. That's cobblestone there, and look at how detailed that is when I get up close to it. Let's see, what's something else I can view that's really well detailed that I've done high resolution to. I mean, this is gravel. So, like mulch that you would put in your yard, that's 512 by 512. I wanted it to be super detailed initially, and people will have the option. For those of you that have a computer that can handle it, you will absolutely get the option to, and see, there it is. And it's a seamless, here, let's get the boundary box out again. You'll absolutely have the option to download this pack and utilize it, but otherwise the default pack will be one that everybody will be able to be using so that it doesn't bog their computers down and give them the inability to use it. So that, like the ferns over here, those look pretty good because those are, well, a picture of real ferns with all of the, that's why I do Photoshop too. I do a lot of this. Actually, let's go over here. I think I can compass over there really quick. I want to show you that I'm working on it, but I haven't finished it yet. This is a vine that I'm creating. Look at this right here. Look at that. Oh, I'm loving it. But what's funny too at the same time is if you look at it, like in between here is where I've been using an eraser to kind of delete. Like, look, let's get up really close to it so you can see the eraser tool that I'm doing in there. So this is a work in progress for the vines. So that's the texture for vines. And like if we get rid of the boundary box again, you can see it blends together. There's no line between them, no definitive line. So I just got to finish the in between all of that. See how messy it is when you get up close. But when you're right about here, it just looks gorgeous. So yeah, that's to give you an example of like the detail that I'm putting in to the resource pack, and why I haven't released it to. Well, it's not finished either. Like I've gone through. This is I want to say the fourth version. This is the fourth version of bricks I've used. Because you have to think, I have to use this for City Hall up front, the train station up front. This has got to work for those and the Haunted Mansion and other things around the park. I can't remember where else. Where's another? I think maybe on Main Street somewhere. So yeah, you've got part of the ice cream shop on the end of Main Street, part of the bakery here. So each texture that I make has to universally fit with everything. I think the fire station's another one. Yeah, there you go. So sorry for the lag there for a minute. So the fire station, and you could see it looks really good, but like I said, I went through about 4 different, look at the detail on this when I go up to it. You can see the shadows and the grout in between and the cement. And then of course it goes here too on the side of this building. So it's one of those blocks that has to be utilized in multiple places, and I have to be careful, and I haven't finished all of them. So this orangey wood that we were talking about earlier, that's old. You can see how muffled that texture is. In other words, how I think that one's 64 by 64 maybe, but it's been edited. Like you can literally see the 2 pixels like right there, the 2 dark pixels. That has to be eventually updated. So there's another reason I haven't released this publicly yet. Anyway, so let's go back over here to where we're building. We'll finish up the last couple of questions here if I've got them. Oh, Sunset Opal, thank you so much, and Amids as well. Everybody, like I said, every bit of that, everything that you guys gave is helping us, and I really, really appreciate it. Rainbow, I'm not doing donations for early access technically right now, so that's something that, again, I can't really technically do. There are some, there are reasons. Anyway, why are you locked out of your Twitter? I'm sorry, that one's confusing. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so how do you get Discord chat on the server? That was a plugin that I found on spigot.org, I believe. It ties into it. I can't remember which one it is. There's a couple of them out there that offer different things, but it's really neat to be able to do that. 3D model ride vehicles, yes, and that's a question I guess I'm going to answer every single stream. Yes, we're going to do 3D models for every single ride. We've already finished 3 of them, plus the train that goes around the park, and the train car that goes behind the train. Sunset asks do I think this computer can handle that? Also, do you need a Photoshop or 3D modeler? We will actually need somebody that's going to be able to do artwork, as well as do more 3D models, because different hats or different items to carry, different swords, or not swords, but lightsabers, or different colors of lightsabers, and all those different things. Yes, we're going to eventually need somebody to help with. All right, so we have finished up on the chat. Let's go back to here. Actually, I'm darkened on the screen, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Let's see what we got here. One moment. All right. And. And we're just checking something real quick. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. That is amazing. I never realized we could put those on our heads. Wow. So as you can see, you look like a duck in a weird way with a weird head. So apparently they've put the Magic Band scanners from the front, because you see that's the thumbnail thing there. They put them on their head. These are so there's a scanner. Yeah, that's amazing. I never knew that was possible. Those are 3D models, by the way, and then I think, of course, it's going to prove me wrong. Anyway. And Zach's saying he can do some 3D models as well. That's awesome. I really do need the help with it. So anybody that's on cast that's willing to help, that will eventually be on cast, it's more than appreciated. All right, so let's go back to sharing the full screen again. Get rid of the window. Okay, so we're back here again. What I'm really confused about is how I'm going to do the blue shutters. Now, one way I could do it, obviously, is, well, like this. But the problem is, for instance, like this window. Wait, where is it? Yeah, the side. This window here, I'd have to do that, and that doesn't. That's too much. Like, that's way too large for that. Covers up 3/4 of the front of this. I'm thinking, I mean, because we still got to have that window, which is up front here. And that's an actual window, so we need to do that one with the brown window. Actually, no, it's going to be the square window. We need that one. Let's go grab that one there. So that's that, and then we need to put something behind it to darken it. Then we have the one on the side, which is right here, and then we have this one down here. So another way we can do it is grab an item frame. This is where I don't like to do this. Put some item frames on either side. I don't think it's going to work. I know it's pretty much not going to work, but I'm still going to grab them to check and see what they look like. I still want to know. Yeah, see how small that is? That's just not right. That's just, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But it stands out more than what I was also thinking about. So if I take... Let's take this, well, we'll look at it again. Yeah, so it's going to be this light blue here. Let's replace that with it. That's better. I didn't know it would stand out that much. Yeah, that's better. So it's not quite as large, so you're not taking 2 blocks down either way. What I think is more than likely going to happen later on is we're going to end up having to put some maybe what they call pixelator images. But the thing is, we don't have pixelator anymore, so yeah. All right, so that window also has them. This one actually, you know what? That one, because of where it's at and the size of it, I am going to use those small banners. See what I mean? Because those are smaller shutters. So you've got these shutters here, which are way smaller than those. So yeah, I'll use those banners on next to that. All right. What else? We got the chimney. So I want to put that, it's kind of like in the center, yeah. Actually, it's more here. And doesn't that, nope, that doesn't go quite that tall. And then it has a kind of a topper on it, but I don't know if I have anything that's that shape. Let's do this too, because we really wanted to, yeah, that's much better. Unless I use a stair and I reshape it with the debug, I think it's going to be okay as is, though. I don't think we need to put the shape up there. Woof. Actually... I'm not happy with that. I don't like the way this looks. So, let's see how this looks. Granted, we probably won't leave this open like this here. Because, you know, it's not a huge chimney. Oh god, that's way better. And then what I can do, since I don't have that shape, we'd do it in a warp. Yeah, since I don't have that shape it would be a larger block. So let's find what we have in here in our head closet. Kind of a roundish shape, kind of the same color as this here. Well, it's not round, but it is this. Look at that. The color is really good. Like if I put it next to it. Color's very similar. Yeah, that one's horrible. We definitely don't want any of these. These are not even close. You like let's see, we got bread. There's a cookie dough, I think. Soda can. What do we got here? I don't remember what that is. Pepsi can. Some cakes and some apples and oranges, and that's a ham because you got the bone in the middle. Yeah, I got a lot of heads. I need to get more though. What I was hoping for was something like that because it's got that kind of round shape, but this one's the best color, so this is the one we're going to grab. And then we do slash back. Hopefully I'll have that enabled for you guys when you come on the server. Hey, not bad, right? I think it looks pretty good. And that's what we're going to do for that for now. That's all that detail. We'll probably have to, let's actually zoom out. And let's go over here and see how many windows are on this side. Same ones as the other side. So we're just going to match what we did on the other side there, which is one here. And then one, was it on the left or right? It's on the left. So one there. And then we had our item frame. And then we need that piece of glass, the colored glass. This one here, light blue. Alright, so there. Did I already put? No, I didn't. Then we need that glass. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm using P for pick. Wow, these guys are being funny down here. They're not quite on, we don't have chairs set up yet in here. So I guess they're using those. That's adorable. There we go. Screenshotted. Okay, so we've got that side of it done. On the windows at least. There's another one down here. So let's jump that one out. Now that one is just like this one right here. Yeah, so we need to grab that. And then I guess that, oh, wow, okay. I guess we're going to have to use that for that. So we'll do that. There we go. Yeah, I guess I'll have to live with that since, see, the inside of this window ends up in this one. But you know what? That's not that big of a deal because, yeah, they're all windows, so. But that still stayed, thank you. It didn't actually have to be debug sticked. But that's the only window on this side. We do have if you notice down here below, there is essentially a torch, because if you look at my torches, right now they're skinned like this, but eventually they're going to look a little bit better than that. But that's the same kind of light that is really. So we'll put that there. And I think that's it for that. Oh, notice something I just almost forgot. See these here? These are lightning rods. I'm going that far as to put those in, even though we don't have to worry about lightning. As a matter of fact, that needs to go there. And then that means that can go out of there and that can go there. All right. And so what we'll use is my iron gate. Boom. There's my lightning rods. Okay, I don't know if there's anything else we need to do. Oh, we're missing a block. Or no, are we? Yeah, we are. Technically right there. And going back around. See, like up close it looks junky as heck, but down below it looks a little bit better. Let's see what we got up here. So we want to block the back of these windows off so nothing's visible through them. Do the same thing here. Let's do that there and there. So yeah, so it just looks dark from the outside, just kind of like it would. See what I mean? Like that way it just kind of blends in. Otherwise you're seeing through there and seeing the roof and you're ruining the magic. Did I get that one? Yeah. The other thing is I've got to find out on the inside of here. Let's go to slab. I'm going to assume for now that inside of here it's essentially this on the ceiling in here, because obviously when you're in here in real life you can't see in there, so we have to block that off. Let's get that out of there, and there we go. Oops, one more, and there we go. For now, at least it's blocked off for now till we find out what's built there. Oh my lord, that is amazing. Wow. His name is Bob. All right. Thanks, Bob. Go hang out over there, Bob. Bob's got big ears. He's got very bright ears. Apparently he has a bright idea. Okay, so moving on. Next one would be here. Let's see here. Going back. Oh, we went a little bit far. This one's going to be super easy. All we have to do is build these two windows. Looks like we have a weather vane here. And then on the inside, it's part of a, I guess well, originally there used to be fast pass machines in here, but those are gone now. Since most everything is handled now on your phone, they got rid of the kiosks that used to be in here. Looks like it's got a handicap sign on it, so I'm guessing maybe it's a handicap queue or something to go through there, because that is fast pass, I think, entrance right there. Other things to notice, I can't tell what this is. For all I know, that's a stained glass window or a door. That's one of those details I'm going to have to... You know what, though? Actually, if I move a little bit... No, he's still in the way, and he's looking right at the camera. That's so weird. Let's move one more down. And this is where I lose detail 100%. Actually, it looks like that's the exit for the gift shop. Actually, yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, technically, all of this is the exit for PhilharMagic. Let's go back over there and look. Boy, that's tough. Oh, I just went way too far. And again, too far. Is there not a... Okay, there's one here. There's one there. See little X's on the ground. That's so weird that there'd be a wraparound and then there'd be an exit for PhilharMagic right there. That doesn't feel right. Let's go one more over. Come on, you. Wake up. It's not clicking. I'm stuck. There we go. Now let's go right there. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right that there would be an exit there. Now all of a sudden it almost disappears. You notice that? I am so confused right now. See, look, that wall has nothing on it. Let's go one more over. And then suddenly darkness or whatever appears there. Like, what the deuce? And then there. So what I'm going to do is, until I get detailed images of that area, I'm unfortunately going to have to leave that be. So let's go back one. Actually, go back over here. Because what we want is we want to do some fences right here. I have a feeling that I want to match it with this, just so that everything's uniform. So we're going to do jungle fences right here. So let's do... Where's jungle? Okay, grab that. This is going to be an easy spot here. I think we're just basically going to do this and be done. I mean, what I could do is like this. I don't know if I want to do that, though, or not. Let's look back at it. And then we look back at this. Actually, you know what I'll do? Half slabs right there, because it is a solid slab, and then a full slab on the end right there. So now we'll do jungle, and we're going to grab the planks for that and put those there. Then we want to do slab, grab the jungle one, which technically I guess hey, I just grabbed it. You guys saw it. I grabbed it. Technically we could have just used the slab and doubled them up over there, but to me, and that's the thing, so we've got a second or a third one there. It's just such a small area now. And that's essentially it. Now here's another thing to notice. Actually, that's a good point. I'm glad I zoomed into this area. See, there's a pole in there, which means there's a split right there. And then let's do that. Oops. And continue it. Oops. Yay. I'm doing great on my building. There we go. I'll get rid of that one. There. So we're all filled in, yeah. But are there more of them to the left? And then there's one on the wall. Oh my goodness. So there we go there. And there are more on the wall over here. So we want to do... Oh, that was nice. I used the wrong thing. So there. Just for now, we'll fill all that in. Maybe it doesn't have to be until later. Thing is where this is where that door is again, and I'm still confused about that area. So we'll wait on that till another time. The other thing is we've got to do some cobble, which is in front here. See how it goes on the pathway in front of these people here. And then there's what looks to be just a regular stone brick. Not brick, but a stone brick there. And then it honestly looks like just concrete there, and then that stone brick again. Also, another detail is that there is, let's see. Those of you that are doing that in the stream, just know that that is actually being able to be heard by the guests while they're trying to watch the stream. Thank you. I'm going to do this for the detail on the bottom of these. Let's see. Because the bottom of each of these, I'll show you right here. So you see there's technically it's a half stone that would be sitting up. But I can't make a half stone penetrate through a fence unless I use an armor stand or something, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so again, moving on, let's see, we've got, I may have to turn my game sounds down because that's really annoying. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Alright, but again, we had, so it was almost like these bricks here, and then there was a split, and then those again in the middle. So we're going to have to put concrete in the middle here. I don't know, do we want to do, yeah, we'll do light concrete, and you'll see that that's another one of those high quality textures, shall we say. See that? That's a really good, just plain concrete. And then there's going to be this here and this here. So yeah, that's the kind of level of detail I want to go. I really want to get everything that's in here in here. Signage we'll worry about later. That's same with like these shields here. We'll put those in at another date. That's all imagery that I have to get. So next we're going to do the windows, and again we'll grab these brown ones because that makes that looks like the same. Yeah, it's the same borders. I want to go about halfway up, so about here. And one of the ways that we can separate the sides of these so that they look like that is that's where we can use banners. The cool thing about these banners though is we what color am I going to pick though? That's the thing. Going back to that, I don't know that I want to use the blue because I want to use blue on the top of the glass. I'm going to go with brown. It's close-ish. Anyway, so if we do that, but oh, I just realized that. That's such a bummer. I can't put one on this side of this one here. See? So, I have to remind myself sometimes what I do. Something I did with this over here. Let's see. Oh, that's what I did. So I use these. These are going to be the... yeah, trapdoors. I love these ones because they look like chocolate bars. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use those ones over there. So, but here's the thing is I don't, again, it's the same issue. I can't put that one there and another one on the side of that. So how do I handle that? This is one of those dilemmas I have to live with. Well, technically, the windows are pretty far apart, like that. See how they're far apart there, but then I don't have a separation right here, which really bugs me. Ugh. It's the, and you know what part of it is this extra line right here that pops out because of the angle that everything's on. I may have to live with that. Eek. And there's also the top of it. And I don't like the way it looks behind it, so what we do then, and what's behind it on that, is just dark, so we just want to do something dark. Actually, we can do that. That's a little bit better. I'm not really happy with that. I think everything down here looks great. Up there, I'm not really happy with it. Especially because I can't put those little, obviously I can't put these roofs like that on it. And I can't do that in blue because if we go to our stairs, the only close to blue I have is Prismarine right here. Yeah, even though I am eventually going to change that color, I don't want to do it right now. That's a whole lot of photoshopping and Googling to find the right image. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. This is going to be a future to-do. Trying to figure out how to make it so that the glass is fine with something on either side of it and it's not pushed up against there and we get a better roof on top of that. So that's a future to-do. A lot of that happens over here too. Hey, Thunder, how's it going? Okay, so let's move on to the next thing, which is technically this archway, and I really don't think there's much to worry about here. I think this is going to be the same on the ground. Nope. It doesn't have the delineation in between for the... Let's see if we can go up one. There we go. Oh, actually it does. So you've got the blocks, then you got the concrete, then you got the blocks again, which are also up on this wall. Actually, it's cobble on that wall. We did that. So, grab that. And then that. And then P is my pick key. And then we got that. And then we do... Because it comes out... Well, it doesn't come out that far, but we need to put it in an angle. Actually, we need to do that. There we go. Because that's got to come out this way. As a matter of fact, do a little bit more there. And then push that into there. Actually, and then we're going to carry this over. Again, see this ceiling, quote unquote, that I'm putting in here, this could change at the next revision because I may get imagery or I may be able to make it to the parks. I don't know. That'll show me the change or the difference in the texture that's there or the material that's up here in real life. There's really not much else except up there. That's where we need to do our next detail. So we've got that turret right there. And that can go up one more, maybe. Let me see what it looks like down here. No, it can come down one. And then again, we have this. And that's a super simple one. We'll do windows like this one too. So like these don't have windows on them yet. They'll have windows when we do the imagery. I could technically... actually, I could do it like this. So let's actually do that. And it's on this side, right? Yeah. And there's one on this side too. Let's do it real quick. And they're long windows. Do I want to use, again, these? But I would use a dark gray. Ah, no, rip. No, I want to use the glass. The glass would be better there. So we'll use the dark gray glass. Well, actually, the quote-unquote black, which is actually lighter than you think there. Oh yeah, that's much better. And then it comes up to a point, and I'm going to add... We did this last time too. I'm using end rods on some of these. The reason being is it adds a light feature, so that if I go dark, all of that up there will be light. That's a valid point too. So we want to cheat a little bit. This window can't be seen in unless you're, what, way down here? Let's see. So let's see if I'm a guest and I'm walking down, even if I raise up a little bit. Yeah, you really can't see in it. So this is a good quote-unquote cheat. Let's get up there. We can put a glowstone behind it. And then therefore it'll throw light out to the rest of the park. And we can do the same to this one because those are both up high enough that it'll keep the it'll keep everything well lit. As a matter of fact, let's do it real quick. Oh, right. I've got my night vision set on. I am a knucklehead. never mind. We'll check that another time. Okay, now we're moving down to here, I think, because we don't... I guess we could do a little bit of this, which is... There we go. All right, so after that one is one quick one right there, which would be like that. Is it at the same level? No, it's much lower. So I need to bring that down to there. And then one right here. Another one. Uh-oh. I just lost connection. Everybody did. All right, so pause for a moment. Let me check and see what's going on. Just give me a moment, folks. Let's see. Looking like some sound issues, maybe. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the stream temporarily. We're going to come back to this very soon, and then actually, it's been enough time. Why don't you go ahead and also add more questions? I haven't looked at your questions in a while. So add a bunch more questions, and when I come back here in a moment, we'll continue the stream and check out what's going on with the server. Sound good? Talk to you guys in a minute. Thanks so much.
Celebrate.
Oh, hey guys, sorry to cut the music off like that. I just wanted to show you something fun here. As you can see from this map, this was one of the reasons we got kind of disconnected from the server. I'm not able to log in right now to the server because of the login servers for part of the United States are down. That's all the darker and yellow and orange. All of that is the outages nationwide for Minecraft. So for the login servers to verify and so on, because my server does require you have a verified, that you're verified. Like you can log into Hypixel and they don't care, whatever. You don't need to worry about verification servers from them. So I'm going to give it another moment. I'm going to put this back on pause for a little bit. See if there's something else I can do. Maybe bring up a single player map or something, and then we'll get into the questions like I stated before we left. So hang in there, everybody, and we'll be right back. Thanks. That's so funny. I didn't even realize that I was sitting here with my microphone on. Anyway, so welcome back, guys. As you can see there, I'm still unable to connect, but what I figured I'd do, we'd go ahead and answer some questions now, since you guys were, you've been so patient and waiting for me to do that. Let's just go ahead and bring those up now. So Region 11 says, will character go corresponding to meet and greets around the park, or will random characters just be anywhere? We will absolutely be following Disney's lead. So we'll no longer just be having random spots where they show up and we line people up and it just becomes a mess. When you go to see Anna and Elsa, they're going to be across from the carousel where they normally would be in the real parks. When you want to go see Tiana and meet Tiana, she's going to be in her little gazebo, which is right behind the Liberty Square area. Same with Mary Poppins. That's where she'll be. Tinkerbell will be in her area. Mickey will be meeting up in the front in his normal meeting area, and so on. So all the characters will actually be where they're supposed to be. It also helps us with that crowd formation when that happens, so that on the server, I know how the crowds work in real life. When when I'm going to meet Mary Poppins behind Liberty Square in the gazebo, I know the line comes up a specific way. We're going to have the same. We're going to have it the same way. We're going to try to have cast members there to kind of keep people in place. We're not going to be using barriers. I don't like barriers. So, excuse me, that's going to be a no-no. So barriers will no longer be a thing when you're trying to wait in line and you're like invisibly trapped between 1,000 people, and that's not going to be a thing anymore. Which characters do you... I'm guessing you're asking... So Noah's asking, which ones do you have? Don't mind me asking. I'll just say that all the base characters are there. So you'll have Mickey and Donald and Goofy and Pluto and so on. The ones that are important, excuse me, to stage productions are not quite filled yet, but we're working on that. Let's see. We got LOL, Quack, Moo, Bark, Bork. And what's that? LOL, Meow. Ducky is Discord. You said 3, 1 extra. What do I mean by that? Oh, sorry. So Plexy's asking, when I had said in Discord that we would get an extra week of building, that's our booth at the CubedCon. And what's great about CubedCon, for those of you that aren't aware, is that all the money is actually going to charity. Well, a good portion of it. I can't remember how much, but Special Effect, which is a really, really amazing organization that helps kids, within the gaming community that maybe have disabilities that you should look into it. So Special Effect, it's a UK site, I believe, United Kingdom, so a .uk. You'll have to Google that up. I don't have the link right away. Let's see. Bob the Builder. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Rainbow Loomer is saying, do you want me to send you pics of that area I took? That'd be great. If you want to send them to me on Discord, I'd greatly appreciate it. And then somebody said that is bricks. I'm guessing that's the roof I was talking about earlier. And yes, that was Noah. That was the exit area of Peter Pan that I was building out of originally. Zack Attack is asking if I want my devs to build or help build. And yes, absolutely. I'd appreciate any help we can get right now. Is there a way to learn to use Blockbench? Sunset Opal is asking. So the way I learned was actually opposite of the way some people learn. I started with Crayfish's application, which is a Java-based 3D application. And I learned how to use that because it's a very super, super simple one. Blockbench, I'm actually still learning as we speak. And I also have a few people that have volunteered to help with some of those 3D models. But for now, excuse me, it's like I said, been a long day. For now, I've been using Blockbench to create the models for the rides and stuff. Matthew 1551 is asking, are you wanting managers' positions to be paid? Will you accept normal applications or will you accept resumes? It's a very deep question there, Matt, and I appreciate it. So my goal is to pay our developers and managers as best we can, dependent upon what our income is going to be like. That's going to be, so donations are one thing. We do want to offer the guests an option to purchase maybe some things from a store, like shirts and hats and t-shirts and whatnot. We don't want to do microtransactions in the game though, because I just can't stand that. MTXs, I guess they're called. And somebody's trying to call me, but I'm going to deal with that later. We've got ways that we're going to be raising money, and I can't talk about all of them now, but we will. Our goal is to have. So we want to have at least a couple thousand in our account the day we open, so that we can pay for maybe ad revenue or pay the managers to keep them online, or pay for devs, or pay for plugins, or whatever. I want to at least have that when we open. And that's all going to come from donations initially. Right now, as I stated earlier, besides this great help that we've had today from, for instance, Silent and all the others that have donated, everything from that dollar on up today, that's going to be helping tremendously, because I've been covering all the bills up till now, and we've got, multiple servers and so on. So yeah, that is the goal, is that the managers are going to be a paid position. I don't know if we're probably just going to be an LLC. I don't know. That's all business related. So let's get away from that. And then nobody says, yo, 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 my name is Joe. Okay. Sunset Opal says they're trying, because they want to help out the best they can. And I'd appreciate that. Matthew's saying, I know most people will gladly be a manager for free, myself included. And exactly, Matt. So there are going to be those people that are going to donate their time. They're going to be volunteers. I am more than happy to accept that, but I also understand that when I ran MC Magic, there were people that, because of the amount of time they dedicated to the server, it affected them financially at home. There were some times where I did help some people out in the past, but I want to be able to do that more consistently for those people that are dedicating more time, especially developers. That's the number one thing. That work the developers do is going to be key to making us succeed. Lego, who, God bless him, I miss him so much. He was such a great guy, and he was the most amazing. We brought Lego on when he was 12 years old, and he said he could do some things and plugins or whatever. And I think the first thing I asked him to do was a plugin that would take an alias and replace everything on the server with that alias. So if I did warp MK, server MK, or just /MK, all of that would go to the Magic Kingdom server. So anything that I entered, you know what I mean? Like I could change anything, because right now it's server MK. But if I want it to be warp MK, he built that plugin at 12 years old, and boom, I hired him to volunteer to work on the server. And he did that for 4 years. With the only time I really helped him out was when his family showed up in Orlando, and I helped get them into Disney one day. That's literally the only help out of all the years, and it drives me nuts and breaks my heart that I couldn't do more for that kid, because he did so much to make us what we were. And I don't want that to happen again. I don't want that uncomfortability of knowing that we're not helping our developers who deserve the assistance. They are doing the key work to keep us. They're the Magic Band, My MC Magic, the room rentals, the stores and the shops and everything that's in them, and buying different Magic Bands and so on. All of that's plug-in based. All of that was Lego's hard work. Giving you money when you come out of a ride. The queue system, which made you wait 10 seconds to get into a ride. All of that was Lego's hard work and dedication. And I really wish I could have done more for them. So in the future, that's the goal, is we really want these developers to get respected and given the respect they deserve. And then let's see. Rainbow Loomer says, how will you go about partners? We're not going to have the partner thing initially when we open. It's been discussed, and as a matter of fact, former partners have already approached me and said, hey, are you going to bring me back onto the partnership? And we're not going to do it initially. But I think that eventually that's possible. The thing about the program is that initially, or in the beginning rather, the deal was that if you came on as a partner, it was a way to promise to other parents and guests and players that, hey, this is a server we trust, and because you know that we give you a guarantee of being family friendly, we know that you can go over to this server and do that. That was another issue though with that partner program, is that some of those partner servers decided to say, well, we're going to go ahead and allow certain things to be said on the server that wasn't part of the agreement originally with them. So we have to be not only careful about who we choose, we have to pause on that until we get a little bit more. We have to bring our name back into the community again. We haven't really been a large part of this community for a little bit of time, and we're rebuilding. So once we've got a name for ourselves again, once we've shown that we can, we can keep a server family friendly, 100% all the time, keep the kids safe, keep everybody having fun and everything else, then we can talk maybe about bringing partners on again. Let's reiterate on the original partner program. You had to have a certain number of followers on YouTube, a certain number of guests had to travel through your doors, you had to have a certain amount built or finished, and so on. That again is a reason I couldn't open now, because we're only going to have the Magic Kingdom, for instance. Sunset Opal says, praise the Lego, and I agree. I always do, and I always will. Though we don't speak much anymore, and I do miss him a great deal. He'll always have a place. His whole family will, because I loved his father, everybody, the whole family. They were amazing people, so they're always going to be in my heart. Okay, so we are still having the issue. I'm going to try once more, see if we can log into the server. I don't really want to have to close Minecraft again. Yeah, see? That's an issue. So we may have to cut the stream short tonight. I was really hoping to make it that full 2 hours because we started at 6. So I would say this. Last questions, get them in now as soon as you can. We'll probably be ending the stream here in about 4 minutes. So let's see. We got, do you need a merchandise maker? I can make and print the shirts with a vinyl design. Sunset Opal, that may be in the possible in the future, but there are stores out there that give you the option of just present them with your logo and they'll print whatever you want one at a time versus getting a bulk bunch of items, because I don't want to sit here, no offense, I don't want to have my room filled up over there with boxes full of t-shirts and then have to go to the post office on a daily basis to send them out. That's why there's websites for that. Besides Etsy, there's other ones as well. Let's see. Noah Montero says, after you finish the 4 main parks, the water parks, etc., will you build Disneyland? Noah, there was I don't remember the quote exactly word for word by Walt right now, but essentially what Walt said is that the parks will never be finished. They will always be forever in a state of growing and progress, and new technology comes and so on. So there'll never be a time we're stopped building Walt Disney World. Even recently, in recent years, they've had the new downtown Disney was now turned into Disney Springs. They built a bunch of new parking structures. They demolished the what was the interactive thing, Disney something. But there's, even to this day, there's still construction going on at the Magic Kingdom and around there. They are constantly changing it. What if they change the color of the Emporium? That happens sometimes over the years. We have to be able to be on that immediately. And so our goal is to always be the Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. The most we would do to expand beyond Walt Disney World would be, silly things like maybe the airport or downtown Orlando, or bits of I-4 where people are familiar, and the shopping districts and all of that. But we have a multi-year project ahead of us because of all the different pieces of that property. Giving an example is the new solar farms that they've been putting all over this Disney property in order to be self-sufficient when it comes to energy and, of course, being renewable. Since Minecraft has technically solar panels in it, that's one of those little things that you just wouldn't think about doing on a server, because how often are any of you going to see that unless you're traveling the roads and the back ends of Disney? Like, there's one of the solar farms I think is over by Disney Springs, or at least in that area within a mile of it. And so if you're driving those roads, sure, you'll see them, but that's another thing we got to get to. Do we want to make buses that constantly travel between the parks, Disney Springs, water parks, resorts, and so on? That's down the road too. I have an amazing amount of work ahead of me. Yes, and as Sunset Opal just said, the gondola system, and yeah, Disney Quest was the place I was trying to think of, but the gondola system is brand new. I can't even think of where I'm going to start on that yet. Oh, and with the current Disney, Magic Kingdom that I have now, I haven't even cordoned off the new Tron ride area, even though I have good details about where it's at. Give you an example of how I normally do builds when it comes to the new rides that they create. When the hub around the castle was rebuilt and refigured and reconfigured rather, we had it built over a year before Disney World Magic Kingdom finished it, and so we didn't have to change it when it opened because we had so many details, so many sketches, so many pictures, so many videos, and so on. We had everything we needed in order to create what it was going to look like. That's my hope with Tron, is maybe down the road, not when we first open in November here in 2 months, but down the road, maybe within a month or two of us opening, I'd like to get the Tron exterior built at least. And because we see how the ride works overseas, is it Japan? You guys can tell me because it'll be a few minutes before I see it because of the delay in the stream. But is it Japan or China? I can't remember which, or Hong Kong. I don't remember which Disney it is that has the Tron ride. I want to say Japan, but I could be wrong. Anyway, we can take from the ride that exists there because I think it's pretty much going to be the same, and then build that ride based on that. I think the exteriors are the only thing that's different, and obviously the placement. And let's see what else we got here. The Surfer opens to the public again, Nick, in November on the 9th, exactly 2 months from today. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I did get the quote right. I guess I've said it so many times. And the gondola system, okay. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Tron is supposed to be exactly like Shanghai. So it was Shanghai. That's what it was. Thank you very much, Noah. Okay, guys, I'm a little bit of a minute. I'm almost a minute over what I originally said I was going to kind of sign off on. I'm really sorry. I really wish that the this wasn't a thing right here. Well, you like how my mouse does that, by the way? That's a visualization thing in case I lose it. So I want to thank everybody and apologize again for Mojang's problem apparently with their login servers, and let you know that I am going to continue doing streams at the very least weekly. But I may try to pop on during this week, so keep an eye out on the Twitter and in the Discord. I may pop on during this week and kind of give you guys a sneak peek of something we've got coming up. Really, it's server-based in a way, but not. Oh, man, you're going to love it. So thank you guys very much for hanging out. Thank you guys very much for viewing. Make sure you like, subscribe, all of that, you know, that typical stuff that everybody says at the end of a video. But also, please join us in the Discord if you haven't already. We're Imagineers Club, all one word, on every single social media, as it says up there on your top left-hand side. I think I even jokingly made a MySpace, so good luck with adding that to your friends list or whatever. But yeah, and please help us out with donations as well if you can. Anything you do right now is helping us in the future, and you will definitely get a position, so like a rank or whatever we choose at that point. You will definitely be first in line for that because you helped us before we opened. So anything you guys can do to help, we really appreciate it. So thanks again, and we will see you maybe during this week, but definitely next weekend. Have a magical night, everybody.